This is Dachau Concentration Camp Memorial. As you enter the gates, you read Arbeit macht frei, work will set you free, which was pure propaganda. The International Monument was erected in 1968. It's representative of the victims of Dachau and has the words "Never Again" engraved in 5 languages: Yiddish, German, English, French, and Russian. Dachau Concentration Camp was one of the first camps established by the Nazi government in 1933 under the direction of Heinrich Himmler, and was one of the last to be liberated in 1945. It served as a training centre for the SS, initially only volunteers considered elite and that upheld the Nazis' fanatical ideas were recruited and trained in places like Dachau. For example, Rudolf Höss and Josef Kramer, who became the commanders of Auschwitz and Bergen-Belsen respectively, were trained here. The first transports arrived at the camp on the 22nd of March 1933. Initially it was political prisoners, those that opposed the Nazi Party regime, but over time expanded to Jews, Gypsies, Jehovah's Witnesses, Soviet POWs, religious clergy and homosexuals. On November 11th, 1938, in the aftermath of Kristallnacht, almost 10,000 Jewish men were transported here. In 1942, the crematorium was built. Its function was to burn the bodies of the dead. However, there is no evidence that the gas chambers were ever used in any capacity other than fumigation. Today, ashes from the crematorium still lay in the forest in an area referred to as Blood Ditch. Between 1933 and 1945, it is estimated that 200,000 people were incarcerated in Dachau, and over 40,000 people died there. Dachau was liberated on the 29th of April 1945 by US Armed Forces. 30,000 prisoners were freed. However, 30 railway cars were found in the area that were filled with bodies in advanced stages of decomposition. So why this location? Well, the site was part of a gunpowder and munitions factory between 1915 and 1919. However, in 1919 and after the signing of the Treaty of Versailles, Germany was forced to disarm, reduce its army and stop military productions. The factory shut down and the area was abandoned. But it was a perfect site for the SS to transform into a concentration camp. There were already barracks, workshops, sewage and water pipes and a railway line. It's in a remote area in the northeast part of the town of Dachau. The town is 10 miles or a 20-minute bus ride away, and it's 25 kilometers northwest of Munich in Bavaria. Medical experiments were also performed in Dachau and have been regarded as crimes against humanity, disguised as medical research. The immersion-hypothermia project was conducted at the Dachau concentration camp between 1942 and 1943. Its purpose was to establish the most effective treatment for victims of immersion-hypothermia. They wanted to see how long Luftwaffe pilots could survive in the freezing waters of the Atlantic. They would place prisoners in freezing cold water to see how long it took them to die, and measured their clinical manifestations. Prisoners were also forced to test their methods of making seawater potable. Malaria was also a serious problem at the time for the German soldier. Dr. Klaus Schilling tested many compounds on purposely infected prisoners and argued at his trial that the study was for the good of mankind. Many died or suffered the effects for the remainder of their lives as a result of his experimentation. So why do people visit a place so full of sadness? It's so that this must never happen again, and so mankind studies the past to protect the future.